It is Sunday evening in suburban Dallas, and a family of four sits in their 4,000 square foot home, surrounded by furniture they do not use, rooms they barely enter, and credit card statements they are too afraid to open. The father works 60 hours a week to afford the mortgage. The mother spends weekends buying organizational systems for clutter that keeps multiplying. And the kids have 300 toys yet are bored every day because abundance without curation creates paralysis, not joy. This is the American middle-class experience for millions who bought into the promise that more would create happiness. But it creates debt, stress, and the feeling that no matter how much you earn, it will never be enough. Now contrast this with a different scene. It is Sunday evening in Stockholm, and a Swedish family of four is sitting in their 800 square foot apartment, and they are completely content. The apartment is small by American standards, but it is beautifully designed, highly functional, and completely paid for. Every item in the home serves a purpose. Nothing is excessive. And there is zero clutter because they live by a single principle that has shaped Swedish culture for generations. Lagom. Lagom is a Swedish word that translates roughly to not too much, not too little, just right. It is the philosophy of enough. And by the end of this video, you will understand why this one concept could completely transform your relationship with money, possessions, and the exhausting treadmill of lifestyle inflation that is bankrupting millions of Americans who think they are doing everything right. Welcome back. Let us start with the painful truth about why so many people feel financially trapped despite earning decent incomes. The problem is not that people do not make enough money. The problem is lifestyle creep. Lifestyle creep is the automatic expansion of your spending to match or exceed every raise, promotion, or increase in income you receive. You get a $5,000 raise, so you lease a nicer car. You get a bonus, so you upgrade your vacation from a road trip to an international flight. You get promoted, so you move to a bigger house in a better neighborhood, because that is what successful people are supposed to do. And here's the trap. Every time you upgrade your lifestyle, you lock in a new baseline of expenses that you now have to maintain forever. The bigger house comes with a bigger mortgage, higher property taxes, expensive utilities, and constant maintenance. The nicer car comes with higher insurance and premium gas, and the better neighborhood comes with social pressure to keep up with upgrading neighbors. And the result is that no matter how much you earn, you never feel secure because you are always just barely covering the elevated lifestyle you have locked yourself into. This is the opposite of Lagom. Lagom is the conscious decision to find the point of maximum utility and stop there. Lagom is not about deprivation. It is about identifying exactly how much is enough to meet your needs and provide genuine satisfaction, then refusing to go beyond that point. Let me give you a concrete example. A Lagom approach to housing is not buying the smallest, cheapest apartment you can tolerate. It is buying or renting a space that comfortably fits your family, is in a location that works for your commute and daily life, and costs an amount that allows you to save, invest, and enjoy life without financial stress. If that space is 800 square feet, great. If it is 1,200 square feet, also great. The size does not matter. What matters is that you are not stretching your budget to buy more house than you actually need just because a bank approved you for a bigger mortgage or because your peers are buying bigger homes. A Lagom approach to transportation is not driving a 15-year-old beater that breaks down constantly. It is owning a reliable, well-maintained car that gets you where you need to go safely and efficiently, and then keeping that car for as long as it functions well, regardless of whether newer models exist. The Lagom principle says, if this car works, why replace it? And the answer cannot be, because I want people to think I am successful. That is not Lagom. That is insecurity disguised as aspiration. Here is why this matters from a purely financial perspective. Let us say you earn $70,000 a year. If you adopt a Lagom mindset and cap your lifestyle at a level that requires $50,000 per year to maintain, you now have $20,000 per year to save, invest, or use for experiences that actually create lasting happiness. Over 10 years, that is $200,000. Over 20 years, that is $400,000, and if you invested, significantly more. But if you let lifestyle creep take over and every time you get a raise, you immediately upgrade your car, your home, your vacations, and your discretionary spending, you will still be living paycheck to paycheck at $100,000 a year because your expenses will have expanded to match your income. This is not theoretical. This is exactly what happens to the majority of American households. According to multiple studies, households earning six figures report the same levels of financial stress as households earning half that amount because income is not the problem, spending is the problem. Now, some people will argue that Lagom sounds boring or that it means giving up ambition or refusing to enjoy life. That is a complete misunderstanding of the concept. Lagom is not about living small, it is about living well. It is about curating your life so that everything you own and everything you spend money on actually adds value, and ruthlessly eliminating the things that do not. Let me give you 3 concrete ways to implement the Lagom mindset this week. First, Conduct an enough audit for every major category of your life. Go through your home, your wardrobe, your kitchen, your garage, and ask yourself one simple question for every category. Do I have enough of this, or do I have too much? If you have 12 coffee mugs and you only ever use 3, you have too much. If you have 30 pairs of shoes, but you rotate through the same 5, you have too much. If you have a garage full of tools and equipment that you have not touched in 2 years, you have too much. The Lagom principle says that excess is not abundance. It is waste, and waste creates clutter, stress, and financial leakage because you keep buying more of what you already have too much of. Once you identify where you have too much, you do not need to throw everything away. You just stop buying more. You set a Lagom limit and you commit to it. For example, if 3 coffee mugs is enough, then you never buy another coffee mug unless one breaks. If 5 pairs of shoes is enough, then you do not buy new shoes unless you are replacing a worn-out pair. This single shift will save you thousands of dollars per year because you will stop unconsciously accumulating things you do not need just because they were on sale or because you were bored. Second, define a strict Lagom limit for your discretionary monthly spending. Discretionary spending is everything that is not a fixed necessity. So dining out, entertainment, hobbies, shopping, subscriptions, and impulse purchases. Most people have no idea how much they spend in this category because it feels small in the moment, but it adds up to massive amounts over time. The Lagom approach is to pick a number that feels reasonable, that allows you to enjoy life, and that does not create financial stress, and then treat that number as a hard cap. If your Lagom limit for discretionary spending is $800 per month, then once you hit $800, you stop. You do not justify going over because you had a hard week or because you deserve it. You stop and you wait until next month. This is not deprivation, this is discipline, and discipline is what separates people who build wealth from people who stay stuck. Third, and this is the most psychologically difficult one, disconnect your personal value from consumer upgrades. American culture is designed to make you feel inadequate if you are not constantly upgrading. If you drive the same car for more than 5 years, people ask if you are doing okay financially. If you live in a modest home while your peers are buying bigger houses, people assume you're falling behind. If you wear the same clothes or use the same phone for multiple years, people think you are cheap or struggling. This is cultural programming, and it is designed to keep you spending. The Lagom mindset says, I am not less valuable because I drive a 10-year-old car that is paid off. I'm not less successful because I live in a home I can afford without stress. I'm not less worthy because I do not participate in the constant performance of consumption. In fact, the opposite is true. Choosing Lagom is a sign of self-respect, financial intelligence, and long-term thinking. It means you understand that real wealth is not what you display, it is what you keep. And real freedom is not having more stuff, it is having more time, more options, and less financial anxiety. So here is what I want you to do this week. Pick one category of your life where you know you have been letting lifestyle creep take over, whether it is your car, your home, your wardrobe, or your discretionary spending, and apply the Lagom principle. Ask yourself, what is actually enough? Not what society says you should have, not what your peers have, but what is genuinely enough for you to live well, feel satisfied, and maintain financial security. Then commit to that number and stop spending beyond it. You will be shocked at how much lighter you feel when you stop trying to keep up with an imaginary standard that no one actually cares about except you. If this shifted your perspective on money and lifestyle inflation, leave a like. And if you know someone who is drowning in the performance of success while secretly stressed about money, share this with them. I will see you in the next one.